Hey there, it's Laura here from makingcardsisdone.com, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to create an embossed resist background with Tonic Nuvo Embellishment Paste. So let's get started. First, I'm starting out by positioning my card into my Misty tool, and I am using a pretty hard background stamp from Winnie and Walter. This one's from the Seeing Hearts stamp set. This is from their February release. Then I'm inking up my background stamp with the Wow Embossing Powder Clear Ultra Slow Drying Pad to stamp these hearts. And then I'm sprinkling on the Opaque Bright White Embossing Powder from Wow. I always use the super fine one since it works best to stamp intricate designs. Next, I'm heat setting this embossing powder, and then I am using some masking tape and washi tape to mask off my white cardstock and also to temporarily adhere this paper onto my craft mat. Next, it's time to create the ink blended backgrounds. I'm using the Aquamarine embellishment paste first, and I'm just working it around on my craft mat to make sure that it gets a little bit more smoother and creamier. I also added a tiny little bit of water just to soften it out a little bit. Don't use too much water since we're not using watercolor cardstock. So if you are using watercolor paper, then that shouldn't be a problem at all. But if you're not, then try not to use too much water. Then I'm using a mini ink blending tool to blend this paste onto my white cardstock. And since we heat emboss those hearts, the embossing powder will actually resist the embellishment paste. Then I'm doing the exact same thing using the spring green embellishment paste. And then I am blending these two colors together. And as you can see, this embellishment paste, it blends like butter since it's so creamy, it's so smooth, especially when you mix it with water and when you kind of work it around with your spatula on your craft mat. It's just really beautiful, and it also gives a gorgeous metallic shine, which I just adore. After removing my masking paper, I went ahead and washed my little mini ink blending foam circles since they were covered in embellishment paste. I just used some warm water and that's it, and it's just you can easily clean the embellishment paste away. So then I am stamping two images from the Welcome to the Family stamp set from Winnie and Walter, and I'm stamping that using Memento Textile black ink, and I'm stamping it onto some Simon Says Stamp ultra heavyweight white cardstock. To color this bunny, I'm using the colorless blender first, and then I'm using the NO marker to add a little bit of shading. I'm also adding the EOOOO color to the inside of those ears, and I'm also adding some rosy cheeks. Then for the cat, I'm using N1 first to add my first layer of shading, and then I am blending that out with the NO marker. Then I went back in with the N1 marker to add a little bit of extra shading here and there. And then I'm adding some stripes to this cat with the N3 marker. So it's just a really easy and fun technique. After coloring these images, it's time to die cut them using the coordinating dies. And then it's time to finish off this card. So I die cut a speech bubble from the Sketchy Thoughts die cut set from Winnie and Walter out of some apple green cardstock from Basil. And I'm going to heat emboss a sentiment on this speech bubble using the coordinating stamp set. So the Sketchy Thoughts stamp set from Winnie and Walter. I used the Opaque Bright White Super Fine Embossing Powder from Wow, and then I'm heat setting that using my heat tool. So I let my background dry for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going in with a baby wipe to wipe some of the excess product away. So you can easily remove this product from the embossing powder, and then you can really see the crisp, heat embossed image. So I'm stamping a sentiment on there from the Sending You stamp set from Winnie and Walter using some black ink. And then I am just going to adhere all of my images on this card with some foam adhesive. I also created some of my own cardstock by coloring it with the Aquamarine embellishment paste. Then I let it dry for a while, and then I die cut this teeny tiny little heart from the Audrey Cutaways die cut set from Winnie and Walter. So I adhered that with some foam adhesive, and then I'm adding a coat of sparkle using the clear sparkle pen from Tonic. And then I'm also adding a little bit of dimension with the crystal glaze. So that finishes up my card in this video. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.